Hi, everybody. This is Jackie. That's me. I'm coming to you from Corvallis and from First Congregational United Church of Christ. And I'm here with a message for young people. And we have a story. I have some thoughts, but before we begin, I would really like you to join me in taking a moment to take a deep breath. I close my eyes so that I'm not distracted. I also put my hands here. It kind of helps hold me down, is how I look at it. Also, it could feel like God's presence. And as we take some more deep breaths in and out, I hope you'll join me as I say to myself, I am breathing in God's love. I'm a beloved child of God, and I can share God's love with the world. I am breathing in God's love. I am a beloved child of God. And I can share God's love with the world. And I hope that that is what I'm doing here. Today, there's a story from the book of Luke. Jesus' friend Luke wrote these stories, and this is from his book, chapter 19, and it's the first little part of chapter 19. And I'm reading today from the Spark Story Bible. Here is the picture. Zacchaeus or Zachaeus. Many people lived in a town called Jericho. One of them was a rich man named Zacchaeus. He had a big house, a big yard, and lots of money. Zacchaeus was rich because of his job. He collected taxes from the people for the Roman leaders. However, as all tax collectors at the time did, Zacchaeus always took extra money from the people and kept it for himself. The people did not like Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus saw a crowd of people gathering along the side of the road and heard someone say, "Jesus is coming." Jesus, thought Zacchaeus. Who is Jesus? He must be important, and I want to see him too. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus, but he had a problem. Zacchaeus was short, too short to see from the back of the crowd. You can see Zacchaeus right there. You can't see past all the people. He needed to get in front of taller people, but he knew they did not like him. They'll never let me in front, he thought. Then Zacchaeus had an idea. He found a tree next to the road where Jesus would walk. The tree was just the right size for Zacchaeus, so Zacchaeus climbed the tree, and now he could see everything. He could see the road, he could see the crowd, he could even see Jesus. Zacchaeus got excited. Step by step, Jesus came closer and closer until he was right under Zacchaeus' tree. Suddenly, Jesus stopped. He looked and saw Zacchaeus sitting in the tree. Uh-oh. Was Zacchaeus in trouble? Maybe Jesus didn't like Zacchaeus either. Maybe you have some wonderings about that. Jesus started to talk to Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, come down from that tree. I want to have dinner at your house tonight. What? Thought Zacchaeus. Jesus wants to come to my house? Quickly, Zacchaeus climbed down the tree. This way, Jesus, said Zacchaeus. This is the way to my house. The crowd grumbled. They were upset. Someone yelled, "How could Jesus go to Zacchaeus' house? Zacchaeus is a bad man," said another. But Jesus didn't hate Zacchaeus. He went to Zacchaeus' house. While they were eating dinner, Jesus told Zacchaeus, God wants everyone to be part of God's family and to care for others. Zacchaeus listened closely. Jesus cared for Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus could care for others. He knew just what to do. Zacchaeus told Jesus, I will give back all of the extra money I took from the people. I'll even give back more than I took. Zacchaeus met Jesus and changed forever. He cared about others. I wonder what questions you have, what things stood out to you about this story. I've heard this story a lot, and you may have heard it before too. There are lots of different things I've wondered about before and that I've noticed before. This time, I noticed that Zacchaeus was surprised that Jesus cared about him and that Jesus was interested in him, because Zacchaeus was used to people hating him and not liking him. And I noticed too that when Jesus said, come down from that tree, Zacchaeus, I want to have dinner at your house, Zacchaeus didn't say no. Zacchaeus said, okay, you're an important person. Come on right over. I also noticed that just by caring about Zacchaeus, Jesus changed Zacchaeus' life for the better. And I sure hope that that is how we can show God's love, is by acting like Jesus in our lives. But there's another question I have for you. One thing I hadn't noticed or thought about before is that Zacchaeus was a tax collector and people hated him because he was taking money from them, taking extra money for his own good. So the people, when they saw Zacchaeus, they already had their mind made up. They had assumptions about him, that he's a bad man. So they couldn't really see him as a person. They just saw him as a bad man. And I wonder if there's something that makes it hard for you to see other people. I'm asking myself that question. One thing that makes it hard for me to see someone as a person is if someone is really angry. I have trouble seeing them as a person because I'm focused on their anger. And that's a natural thing. That's, I think, what many people do. But I notice that if if this were a story and Jesus was coming down the road and someone was angry, my guess is that Jesus might still stop and talk to the person. It seems like there are a lot of angry people today and leaders that you see that are angry. So I'm bringing this up just to think about for all of us. I'm certainly not saying we have to stay and listen to someone who's yelling or angry, but pay attention to what makes it hard to see people as people. All right, my friends. I am hoping to see many of you at church on Sunday, and it will be the 30th of October, which means some of you might want to come in your Halloween costume, which is fine as long as it's family friendly. And we will be having a Dia de los Muertos ofrenda, or a Day of the Dead altar. If you would like to bring in something that reminds you of someone that you've lost, it could be a pet or a human, you're welcome to add it to the ofrenda, and that will stay up all week. And I will be praying for any people or animals during the week, and you can collect your item the next Sunday. All right, my friends, I wish you a good week full of thinking about this story.